this is maintaining your client's dignity. So let's start with the first page, and it's fill out the dignity. I'm just going to I've read through it in some key points. I'm going to go ahead and read those. So fill out the dignity. You've probably heard the term dignity many times in your career as a nursing assistant, but what does it really mean? The term dignity is derived from the Latin dignius, meaning worthy. And the dictionary defines it as the quality or state of being worthy, honored, or esteemed. While these descriptions of dignity may be accurate, the concept of dignity is much more complex than it relates to your relationship with clients in healthcare situations. First, look at the term worthy. Worthy might imply people have measurable worth or value. Does this mean dignity is different for everyone based on a level of measurable worth? For example, do wealthy people deserve more dignity than poor people?
No.
No. Do kind people deserve more dignity than mean people? No. In healthcare, dignity is a basic right all people have as human beings. This means all people are entitled to be treated with dignity simply because they are humans. Let's go to the next page, page 2. Under the problem is, healthcare professionals talk a lot about maintaining a client's dignity, but the research shows it does always happen. Nurses, nursing assistants, doctors, and other members of the healthcare team are extremely busy and often claim lack of time and training as the biggest reason for failing to maintain a client's dignity. Clients lose dignity when they are talked down to or treated like a child, are excluded from decision making, are treated as an object or an illness instead of a person, have hospital staff expose their naked bodies during baths or during transfers, and are addressed to casual manner such as sweetie or honey. We've all heard that happen. And you don't even think about that it's patient's dignity. If you go to page 3, at the top, A, B, C, and D of dignity, focus on attitude. You may not think your attitude has any effect on your client's dignity, but it does. Attitudes are learned behaviors that cause you to make assumptions. These assumptions lead you to behave in a certain way towards certain groups or categories of people, treating them not as they are, but as you assume them to be. For example, a negative attitude towards client who smokes, especially those who have developed a chronic illness associated with smoking, may cause a caregiver to withhold care or to provide care with much less respect. Or a negative attitude towards mental illness that may lead a caregiver to assume a confused client is intoxicated before considering there may be an underlying illness, infection, or other medical problems causing the confusion. Take a moment to explore how your own attitude or assumptions influence the way you deal with your clients. Ask yourself, how would I feel in this client situation? What is leading me to draw these conclusions? Have I checked whether my assumptions are accurate? How does my attitude towards the client affect him or her? And is my attitude towards the client based on my own experiences, anxieties, or fears? What can you do? Ask yourself the above questions for each client in your care. Talk about the issues with your supervisor and coworkers. Discuss how caregivers' attitudes or assumptions influence dignity. Find out what others are doing to manage or change their attitudes towards certain groups or clients. Speak openly amongst your coworkers and within your healthcare setting to create an atmosphere of acknowledgement and ownership of those attitudes that may be getting in the way of your client's dignity. Participate in ongoing professional development opportunities that challenge you to question your attitudes and assumptions that might be affecting your client care. Okay, let's go to page 5. At the top top. C is for compassion. Having and showing compassion requires an acute awareness of the suffering of another person combined with the desire to relieve it. For some caregivers, compassion is just an easy and natural part of human interaction. For others, compassion develops only after they spend time interacting with clients and learning how vulnerable people can become when they are sick, elderly, or frail. Since compassion is a feeling, it's not easily taught. No one can teach you how or what to feel, but feelings can be controlled through intellectual and emotional awareness. At the bottom it says, keep it in balance. It's possible to feel too much compassion. You can become overly emotional, attached, and overly affected by another person's moods or feelings. This could lead to a feeling of exhaustion or burnout. On the next page, page 6, at the top of the page, dialogue is the D of ABCD of dignity and will develop naturally once attitude, behavior, and compassion are understood. Dialogue is simply a conversation you have with your client. You probably have conversations with clients all the time, but there is a special kind of dialogue that helps maintain your client's dignity. The goal of the conversation is to acknowledge your client as a person, not just as an illness or another body in a bed. All right, let's go to the next page, page 7. Moving right along. Down at the bottom, you see the little boy praying, accepting all religions. Religious belief vary widely. Just because someone has different religious beliefs than your own does not mean their beliefs are wrong. It is important to accept the beliefs and give the client and family the freedom to worship, pray, and practice their beliefs. It's okay to be curious and ask questions about different practices. It is not okay to impose your own beliefs on anyone. Okay. The next page, page 8. All people have the right to say how they want to be treated in the face of a terminal illness, or of the ability to communicate is lost. Advance directives are legal documents that allow clients to maintain their dignity and express their wishes regarding their end-of-life care. Advance directives may include a living will, a medical power of attorney, and a do not resuscitate order. A living will the living will tells you how the client feels about life-saving medical interventions like ventilators, dialysis, tube feeding. Clients have the opportunity to say if they do or do not want these life-saving measures. Medical power of attorney. Every client has the right to designate a medical power of attorney. This is a trusted person, usually a family member or a friend, who understands the client's wishes and can speak on behalf of the client. The medical power of attorney is able to make important decisions regarding the medical care of the client if the client is unable to speak for himself. Do not resuscitate. The do not resuscitate order tells the healthcare team that the client excuse me, does not want CPR performed. In the event, I stop breathing. Will you start reading the Death with Dignity right here?
There's a national over there?
Yep.
There's a national campaign called Death with Dignity. It promotes the idea that a dying person should have the right to request the help of a physician to die, usually by means of a little dose of medication. Assisted suicide is legal in the Netherlands, Switzerland, Belgium, and the 3 states in the U.S., Oregon, Washington, and Montana. Some people believe that when a person has less than 6 months to live, is unable to have pain control. and is still capable of making sound decisions, then physician-assisted suicide should be an option. Others believe that physician-assisted suicide is murder and should never be an option.
Okay. And actually, the San Bernardino office had asked if we can have the Death with Dignity in service, so I'm gonna look into maybe doing that for February, because it's now legal in California, and that way you guys can know a little bit more about it and where the agency stands on it. So January's already set up, so we'll look at February doing that one. Okay, and then maintaining your own dignity, page 9. Let's read all that. So, be honest with yourself. If you can tell yourself the truth, you probably can't be honest in others. If you can't tell yourself the truth, then you probably can't be honest in other relationships in your life. To have true and honest compassion for others, you must be able to identify your own feelings, fears, doubts, and weaknesses. Acknowledge your mistakes. You may believe it weakens you to admit when you made a mistake, but that could not be farther from the truth. When you try to hide or cover up a mistake, the guilt will gnaw at you and over time chip away at your dignity. Stand up for what's right. There are multiple injustices in the world, some big, some small, but when you witness something that feels wrong or someone or something is being harmed, stand up, speak out. You may be the only one brave enough to make a difference. Set goals and achieve them. Setting goals for yourself helps keep your life on track. It shows others how you have a plan and that you're moving forward. Respect yourself. Respect yourself by dressing appropriately and presenting yourself to the world with dignity and grace. Now that you know the positive things you can do to maintain your own dignity, take notice of behaviors that are dignity zappers. Do not accept gifts of cash or other expensive items. Do not disclose personal information about your life. This includes your personal or intimate relationships, family troubles, legal problems, or financial problems. Do not discuss your feelings about your employer, coworkers, your supervisor, or other client in the presence of the client or the other family members. You caught that I added that part. Do not become romantically involved with other client or client's family members, even after the therapeutic relationship has ended. Do not perform personal services such as giving rides to family members or picking up dry cleaning unless it is outlined in your care plan. All right, so I kind of hit the key points there. I really like this. Is a good one. It's important. Let's go ahead and pull the test out. Please make sure your name and your date is on it and that you sign it in your employee signature. Let's start with number 1. And the ABCD of dignity, the C stands for compassion. Having compassion starts with having empathy. Having empathy means you understand your client's feelings. You convey understanding to the client and act on this understanding in a helpful way. Okay, number 2, most healthcare professionals claim dignity is overlooked during routine care because they lack
time and training.
Yes, time and training. Nurses, nursing assistants, doctors, and other members of the healthcare team are extremely busy and often claim lack of time and training as the biggest reason for failing to maintain a client's dignity. All right. Number 3, the goal of dialogue that means dignity is to B, acknowledge the client as a person. Dialogue is a specific conversation you have with your client to acknowledge him as a person, not just as an illness or another body in the bed. Number 4, advanced directives may include all of the following except
Financial power of attorney.
Right, D, financial power of attorney. A medical power of attorney is not a financial power of attorney. Just because someone has the power to speak up on behalf of the client regarding medical decisions does not give them the right to have any control over the client's money or possessions. Okay, number 5, true or false? It's possible to feel too much compassion. True. It's possible to feel too much compassion. You can become overly emotional, attached, and overly affected by another person's moods or feelings. Number 6, true or false? Calling clients honey is a way to show compassion and maintain their dignity. False. Calling clients honey is a way to deny clients their dignity. Number 7, all Americans have the right to request assisted suicide from a physician. False. Assisted suicide is only legal in the United States in Oregon, Washington, Montana, and California. I added California because it's not in the book, because that was done in 2014, so that's something that's not. Okay, 8, giving your clients personal information or intimate details about your life can be damaging to your own dignity. True. Giving your clients personal information or intimate details about your life can be damaging to your own dignity. Number 9, any distressed client of unknown religion will benefit from praying to Jesus. False. A distressed client of unknown religion can be asked if a prayer would help, but it is important to realize that not all religions pray to Jesus. A better option may be to ask it to pray to God. But then again, we talked about that, and not everybody prays to God. So ask them if they'd like prayer, if that's what you'd like to do. And number 10, making assumptions can lead you to provide care that does not maintain your client's dignity. True. Making assumptions can lead you to provide care that does not maintain your client's dignity. For example, a negative attitude towards clients who smoke despite a chronic illness associated with smoking may lead the caregiver to withhold care or to provide care with much less respect. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay, so make sure you put your name, date, signature, and then on the back, fill out your questionnaire. Thank you, Patty. Ready?